We're live. All right. Well, welcome. It's 8:30 in the morning on a Friday. We've got our Buddy Brew coffee, and I'm sitting here with a good friend, Drew Weatherford. For those of you who are football fans in the state of Florida or across the nation, you know this is one of the classiest guys. He was a quarterback for Florida State University. Learned nothing from me because I know absolutely nothing about how to be a quarterback. But he's a quarterback for Florida State, and he's also a Storm quarterback, and just an all-around incredible young man, a great leader, somebody that's an inspiration to young people. We talked about this, Drew. Not only the way you handled football when you're playing, because you're always just the most confident individual. I never saw you down, no matter how hard they hit you. But even after you were injured and you were on the sideline, you know, I think that's when America got to see a great leader, because you showed so much poise and you were positive and rooting on the other guys that stepped in. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, first of all, it was tough. There's no doubt about it. It was a tough, situation starting for 3 years, and then my senior year, not getting the nod. And I would lie to say that wasn't a difficult thing to deal with. But going through the situation with Xavier and myself, because we kind of went back and forth while I was there, I realized, what a problem it can be if you are disruptive and you're not a team player. And because of that, I just made a conscious decision. When that decision was made, that I was just going to continue to work as hard as possible. I was still part of the team, so it was my duty, I guess you'd say, to make us as successful as possible. And whether that was sending signals in or talking to Christian on the sideline, trying to help him with the experience that I had, I was really willing to do whatever it took to help our team win. I tried to get on special teams. Coach wouldn't let me do that. But
you like to hit, don't you?
I do. I love it. I love it. I do. I've been playing for football for a long time, not just quarterback, but linebacker and safety and all that kind of stuff. So it was tough to deal with. There's no doubt about it. But now looking back at it, I consider it a blessing. I think God taught me a tremendous amount through that period of time in my life. A lot of patience and. It was a great opportunity for me to be a witness for God and to show people that were looking in that I knew God was in control, and that I had faith in His plan for my life.
Oh man, amen. I tell you what, that's what I like about Buddy Brew. The Wards, they have the same faith that you have. They've taken a great risk when they go out there and they're put everything on the line for their business, and we really just love this coffee, love the people, and just honored to have you here. Now you're quarterbacking with the Storm. How do you like that?
I'm enjoying it. Actually, I'm finally playing special teams. I'm playing kickoff and kickoff return. We got a guy who's a great quarterback with the Storm. His name is Brett Dietz, who's also a great Christian guy. He's been playing for about 10 years and has been really successful this year. So I haven't had many opportunities to play. Threw my first touchdown a couple weeks ago, which was exciting. But again, I'm sitting behind a guy, and I'm just trying to find ways to help the team win. And actually, I'm pretty proud of this, but I think I'm leading the team on tackles on kickoff, so I'm just out there running around playing football and having a good time. So
that's cool. You know what's cool about, I get the feeling when I'm with a Weatherford that I'm kind of like with the Manning family. It's huge.
Other than the fact that they were drafted first overall. Other than that, we're about the same.
Aside from that, but you got a great brother. Brothers. Will, who's in the legislature and is going to be speaker one day. And another thing, when I'm around a Weatherford, Will, you, and your other brothers, what always impresses me again is your faith and the fact that you really know who's in charge and who you're serving. But also just the fact that you guys are I never see you down. You're always upbeat. And now you got a younger brother, Stevie, right?
That's right. Yep.
Now he's playing at USF.
He is going to be a senior. He committed to USF about 2.5 weeks ago, and we're thrilled about that. We've all played football. We've all grown up in Tampa, and unfortunately it hasn't really worked out for any of us to come to USF. So it's great that the last one in line has decided that that's where he wants to be, and we couldn't be more excited. We're excited about Coach Holtz, and we think he's going to bring a lot to the table and really take this program to the next level. And we're going to be excited as a family to be a part of that.
Now, we got Coach Holtz at USF, and we got Jimbo at FSU. Jimbo seems to be a really strong, passionate, man, class A. You think he's going to be great?
I think he's going to be great. I really do. His work ethic is unbelievable. He knows the game. He understands recruiting. I think that he has the ability to make kids work hard every day. So I'm really excited. And I think you can already start to see, our recruiting picking up, and you can already start to see the transformation of guys. They've implemented new nutrition plans, and their workouts are different. And because of that, I think that we're going to be really successful this year and continue in the future.
This is not a sports program, but I love sports, and I really think there's a lot of application between sports and government and everything else. And the one thing I'll say before we leave this topic is just that when you look at the state of Florida and the quality of the programs from the University of Miami, University of Florida, which has run, for the last decade at least, a really class program with themselves, a great coach, Urban Meyer, and the program that they put on the football field. And then Florida State now. I think Florida really wants to see Florida State perform well. Let's get that competition going, and so that's exciting. But also, there are other good things about this state. We've got a state that has underperformed, I think, in transportation, economic development issues, which are very important, and energy. And we've got to find ways to produce more. And I know that you're real interested in that. We're not going to kind of talk broadly, though, about alternative energies. Can you address that at all?
Yeah, I've actually, been fortunate enough to be interning with a company, and I've learned a tremendous amount. As I'm playing football, I'm also trying to keep, learning and trying to work on my career after football. So I've been doing a lot of research and working with the company, and it's amazing if you look at the dynamics of, our country today, and honestly the energy crisis that we're in. In the digital age that we're living in, there's only more consumption of energy and fuel every day, and there's no stopping that. That's just the bottom line, and a lot of that is caused by the types of lifestyles that we've chosen to live, living far away from cities, with our infrastructure not being what it needs to be, to get from work and get back home. So I think that we have a really uphill battle, and people don't really realize it. It's hard to get a grasp on all the different components of energy, but frankly, we have plenty of energy in this country. It's just about utilizing it in the right way. From gas to coal, to solar to wind to geothermal to all sorts of different types.
And what we're looking for are young, bright people like Drew and others to be right here in Florida. Florida needs to be the leader in energy production. You see what's going on in California with the brownouts, right, and the lack of energy and the impact that has on the state, their ability to grow their economy. We've got to have large amounts of accessible, affordable energy so that we can run our machines, our factories, our businesses, and our homes. And we're not talking about, remember during the 70s, you don't remember, were you born in the 70s?
I was not quite born.
Okay, you were born in the 70s. Well, I was a young man in the 70s when we went through the energy crisis, and when Carter was talking about the age of using less, and it was always talking about how we were we'd reached our ascendancy, and now it was time to just draw back. And I really, Reagan came in.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be serving, and I really am.
How many Weatherfords are there? How many Weatherford boys are there?
There's 9 kids in my family.
Geez.
7 boys and two girls. God bless my parents, as you can imagine.
9.
My mother's a saint. And there's only one left at home, so we've all kind of, moved on, and we got, Weatherford. My older brother Sam lives in China. He's lived in Beijing for the last 4 years of his life and worked for an investment bank over there. Went over there and learned the language.
Did you really?
Yeah, Sam did. I did not. I wish I could speak Mandarin. My older brother Sam has been over there for 4 years, learned the language, and he's given me a whole different perspective on a lot of different issues as well. Energy being one of them. And so we're literally across the globe, and one left at home who's going to USF next year, so it's exciting.
We're going to have a great year at USF.
We're going to have a great year.
We're going to go out and watch the Bulls play football.
That's
and
right.
Listen, I just want to say this is we enjoy doing this show every Friday. We'll see you next Friday, and it's great to have a man of great faith and who I think is going to just have a lot to offer our community in the future. Just thank you very much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy it. You betcha.